Hello and welcome to another Circus Brighton tutorial.
Hi, I'm Lily Lou at Circus Brighton, and in this video we're going to show you how to do a forwards and backwards cross with poi. This is one of the important bass moves when starting poi spinning. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and stay tuned to the end to grab that code for your course certificate.
Okay, so this is the forwards and backwards crossing. So forwards and backwards crossing. So in this particular move, we're going to be doing a forwards cross, and we're also going to be doing it in backwards. It doesn't matter what type of poi you've got. It's good when you're first starting out. If you need to get yourself some cheap poi, just get yourself 2 long pairs of socks or a pair of long socks, normally from the pound shop or the dollar store. Just get yourself a pair of really long socks and stick in a tennis ball. Or you can just fill a bag full of rice and stick that on the bottom instead, although that will be quite light, so you might have difficulties there. There are loads of different pois you can get. If you do have a set of poi that have the really long pretty tails, they look beautiful, but they are terrible for learning new moves with. So if you do have them, just pick up the long tails, hold them in your handle as well, and that will make it a lot easier for you to start learning the new moves, and then you can always try it out with the tails afterwards when you're more comfortable with the move, and then it will just look fabulous. There's so many different types of poi you can get. Here's another type that are really, really good, but they're quite heavy. So you might not want to start off with these ones, but they've got balls on the ends and balls to hold on to, and they're quite nice. They're really, really nice to spin, but as I said before, they are quite heavy. So you might not want to start off with these ones. You might want to start off with something a little bit lighter, which is where the socks work really, really well, especially with just the tennis balls. Or you can get some juggling balls in there if you did want a bit of extra weight. Really build up those muscles. Now we're going to be doing forwards and backwards crossing in this one, just to get you started. It's a really good, important, key move to learn for all the poi moves you're going to be doing. Once you've got forwards crossing and backwards crossing, it fits in really nicely with so many other moves that you're doing. So we need to work really, really hard on making sure your planes, which means the direction in which your poi are facing, are going to be. So I find as I am spinning my poi, everybody's different, but whichever way I'm holding my poi, if I point my thumbs outwards in the direction that I want the plane to be, so if I want my poi to be to the side, my thumbs are pointing outwards. If I want my poi to be in front of me, my thumbs are pointing in front of me. And you will see, as an audience, if the poi is spinning circular in front of me, you get to see a very, very beautiful circle. Whereas if the poi is spinning to the side of me, you basically get to see the poi as it comes up. So it's always worth being aware of where your audience are and making sure your planes are super straight, so that when you do turn, you've got that beautiful circle that's not going off a bit or up a bit or a bit to the side. So I always find when I'm learning a new move, it's always better to do it with one hand first.
Step number 1, it's always a good idea to do each new move with one poi at a time before trying it with both.
So if you grab a hold of your other poi in one hand and just release the poi of the other one, I do find that when I'm learning a new move, it's easier to learn it on my bad hand first. So I am right-handed, so when I'm learning a new move, I will always try it with my left hand first, because for some reason, then when I transfer over to my right hand, the move just comes together really easily. So it works for me, it might not work for you. What we're going to do is we're going to start it spinning to the side. It's going to be spinning up and over. So it's going to be coming in a forwards motion, spinning up and down in that way. If you've got like a mirror in front of you or anything where you can check and see whether or not it is going to the side, or just film yourself when you're learning so you can kind of make those adjustments, because if you can't see what you're doing, you might not even have a clue that your poi is going off in its own direction. So it's really, really good to either have a mirror, practice in front of a window, film yourself, just practice however you can, but it's really good to keep a track of what moves you're doing and in which direction the poi are going. So that's a really top tip. And as it comes up, going to cross it across your body and back again. So from the side, as the poi comes up, you're going to cross it across your body and swing it back up the other side. So from the front, as the poi comes up, you cross across your body and then it swoops up the other side and then you bring it back again. So that's just one poi. Now you're going to try it with the other one. And it's the same premise. As it comes up, you're crossing it across your body and back again. Now when you first start doing this move, you will feel like your arms aren't long enough. If you can touch your armpits with your other hands, then your arms are going to be absolutely fine. They are definitely long enough. Okay, it doesn't matter whether your arms are out here, whether your arms are back here, as long as you can touch your other arms, you're fine. And as you come to using them both at the same time, you're going to give yourself a hug.
Step number 2, you're aiming for a figure 8 either side of your body with you in the centre.
Now it doesn't matter when you first start whether your left arm is on top of your right or your right arm is on top of your left. When you're doing the hugs in the middle, it is really good practice to be able to alternate.
Step number 3, alternate arms with left over right and right over left.
So that when you do go into other moves, you'll be able to go one on top of the other and that kind of thing. So it is really good practice to practice having one arm on top of the other with this move. If you have any trouble whatsoever, just go back to one hand at a time and it will slowly start coming into your brain. Okay, and try and do it in front of that mirror because you won't know if one's going off a bit, and then as soon as you try and cross, it's going to catch. They need to be super straight either side in order that when they do cross, they're not going to hit your body, because if you're crossing in that direction, as soon as you cross it, it's going to hit you around the head or wherever. So it's really important to make sure you've got your planes absolutely straight. So when you do your crosses, it's not hitting. Now when you get the hang of it, it's nice to have a little play with it. So try it up high, try it down low, try walking with it, forwards, backwards, just have a little play with the move. See how it feels doing the move up high, see how it feels doing the move down low, how does it feel walking forwards with it. So try it in different ways. Also it stops you getting a bit bored with the move because it can be quite repetitive, so just keep doing that, and it is really important that you do practice this move. So the more different varieties you can do, keep yourself interested, the better. Now into backwards. Now this is a bit scarier this way because the poi will feel like they are coming right at you. As they come up, it feels like the poi are going right towards your face. So this is a scarier version of it. As I say before, back to one hand at a time. Try and practice in front of that mirror to make sure you've got it going straight. And then it's timing wise, as the poi are coming up, I'm going to do it without poi, as the poi are coming up, you're going to cross your arm across and make that figure 8 down the other side. So as your poi come up, you're going to make that figure 8 the other side with you in the centre of the figure 8, if that makes sense. I'll get one drawn. So you are right in the centre of your figure 8, and as the poi comes up, you cross it across your body, and then as it swoops back up again, you bring it back to the other side. Practicing it with one hand, then the other, swooping it up, 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 then bringing in both. It's in backwards. This is the scary bit. Okay, you're going to want to make sure you get your arms right the way across, and you're going to want to make sure you point those thumbs where you want them to be, because as they come up, you're more than likely just going to get tangled the first few times. So get your arms out of the way. Doesn't matter, once again, if you've got your left over right or right over left. Just relax with it. I mean, if you go too far across, you're going to end up hitting yourself as well, because you can't physically, because it's even harder to keep the poi spinning. So once again in backwards, once you've practiced, you can go up high, go down low, Really good to practice in front of a mirror to make sure you're straight, because as soon as you start going into other moves, if you're not straight, you won't be able to flow from one move to the other and know that it's all straight. Whereas if you know you're there, you can move a lot easier from one forwards to the other, which we'll be working on later. But for now, practice your forwards and backwards crossing, and please leave a comment. Let me know how you're getting on, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye!
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more circus tutorials.